So there's some really amazing and talented folks in the Destiny community because they've been hard at work restoring the previous versions of Destiny 2 into a playable state. The versions of the game before the Destiny Content Vault and the Beyond Light update ripped a lot of content out of the game. And regardless of the quality of that content, that was always debated, the concept of them being able to rip content players paid for out of the game with no repercussion at all was a dangerous precedent, and in my opinion, it caused irreparable damage to Destiny 2. It was the real start of the downfall of the game, showing that they had no confidence in actually being able to keep a game of that size maintained, because no other MMO, to my knowledge, has ever done that. Not even Wizard 101, World of Warcraft, the guys that have been around for a long time, to my knowledge, they've never gone out and just straight up ripped content out of the game because of quote unquote space issues. They just work through it because that's how MMOs operate. They get bigger over time and they learn how to maintain it. Bungie tried to have their cake and eat it too by ripping this content and then repackaging and reselling it later with their seasonal model, which was even more scummy. But besides the point, the people who are in charge of Project Sunrise have shown once again not only how talented they are, but also how much Bungie bent the truth when it came to removing this content, because the puzzle pieces are all meshing very well. They're not only able to get into areas like Io and Titan and the Tangled Shore, even the Infinite Forest or Mercury is now a playable space, so to speak. You can walk around it. The fact that they can do this so quickly shows how much of this content was actually still in the game, so to speak. So this Destiny Content Vault really didn't remove the content like they claimed it did. They left a lot of the DNA still on the table that the modders are now carefully sifting through and reactivating. What this shows us is that Bungie not only did something very scummy when they removed the content, even more scummy, they lied about how much of it they actually did, because later they claimed that it was actually impossible to get the content back. Bungie even had a lawsuit levied against them for plagiarism accusations, and because they claimed they deleted the Red War campaign from the game entirely, no trace, not a single bit of it on any hard drive, they tried to use footage of someone's YouTube video where they played it back in 2018 as defense in court. Of course, the court threw that away because that's not their YouTube video. They can't use footage someone else captured to defend their own stance. They had to provide the actual content they created. So now that we have the precedents that Bungie lied and a lot of the Red War is still accessible, even the main lobby area with all of its amazing dynamic weather effects, this proves that Bungie also lied in a courtroom under oath. This is not going to end well, because this is going to throw that lawsuit a whole new monkey wrench, because now they lied about deleting the Red War content, and that will reopen this allegation of plagiarism, because now Bungie has to show what they did or didn't actually make. They can't just say, oh, we deleted it, we can't prove it, throw the lawsuit out in motion for them to just toss the case. Now it's even deeper, because we actually have evidence in the files that the modders have reactivated that the Red War campaign is almost completely accessible. These guys have gotten not just the locations working now, this is the big news, they're also activating the dynamic weather effects, they've got the inventory working, weapon swapping, the weapon mechanics, and they're even getting the Red War campaign logos to load into the map, and they're getting the mission splash screens to load as well. It's only a matter of time until all of these locations, I think, are going to be really 95% playable, including all their missions and mechanics. This is way more of a progression than I expected in terms of this. I thought this would take maybe a year or two once people got open source access. The fact that we can get so far so quickly into what was quote unquote removed shows how much of these puzzle pieces were actually left behind, meaning that Bungie lied. Now, I don't know what this means for the future. I don't know if this is going to throw a wrench in the plans for Destiny 3. I don't know if anyone's even going to try to pick up that torch. There's rumors that Sony might sell the IP. There's rumors that there's all sorts of craziness happening with the Destiny franchise. They might send off to Activision back for Destiny 3. They might have the guys who made Destiny Rising take control of a full console and PC release of the third entry. They might just sell the IP in general once they completely absorb Bungie and furlough the company. No clue. But for the preservation of Destiny 2, things are looking very bright. Because for once, the players are in control, and they're finding out how much Bungie lied, and how much they can do on their own. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time until people are able to create, using reverse engineering, new content for the game that has been discontinued. Once these modders figure out the ins and outs of how these mechanics work and how these missions and destinations are structured, just like with Borderlands, I would expect folks to be making some very genuinely impressive custom mods and destinations like the Redux mod for Borderlands 2 and a few others. I can't wait to see it. The only hope is that Bungie, by extension Sony, doesn't start hitting projects like these with any sort of cease and desist orders, like with a lot of modded Call of Duty clients that actually give the fans what they want. But while things are looking bad for Bungie and Sony, for Destiny 2 preservation, this is a huge win. Also, the Destiny 1 port running on the PlayStation 3 emulator on PC is doing very well as well. So things are looking up for the preservation of a franchise that we all loved. That's all I have for today. Have a good one.